Now, this is part two of my previous post. Now, you guys are in court arguing in front of the judge. Of course, she's going to be irritated by this situation. And this is where Nigerians react because they're like, oh, wait, I understand Marshall because, his ego was bruised. They try to take his case because, after all, he signed the petition. Let me explain one thing to you guys in life. We as regular normal people, we have the right to explode and have emotions at random times. But there are certain disciplines in life you cannot afford to be emotional. One, if you're a doctor, you cannot say because a patient who needs surgery comes into your ward, but you previously heard that that guy had unalived a lot of people, but because you are emotional, you're not going to treat that person. It is your right as a doctor to surgically help that person and give him the best treatment, whether or not you have emotions to it. Even if a situation came where the person on your table was said to have, let's say, molested your wife or something, you still, by law, should focus on the patient. It is all about the patient. In that case, emotions don't count. We have the same things with lawyers. Lawyers, of course, we are all humans. You have the right to argue, to be pissed off or whatever, but you have also the right to be as diplomatic as possible, to overlook certain things because it's not about you. This case was never about you, it was about Justice Crack. Then you also have people in the military and uniforms. They are not allowed to have normal human emotions. Even politicians. You remember the other day I said, if I was in Peter Obi's shoes, I would not have shook the hand of that other guy. But that's because I am a normal, average human. When you're in certain positions, you have to be diplomatic, whether you like it or not. The public would love to say, even someone made in a comment like, if I was Masha, I would have said, Your Honor, justice is guilty. Why? You placed yourself, you infused yourself in a situation to bring justice out of jail. And all of a sudden, everybody is in their own feelings. Now, let's look at the situation. Under normal circumstances, if he did not let his emotions get in the way, what he was supposed to do when he realized there was a little bit of confusion, now the internet is starting to make it look like, oh, there's this big conspiracy and propaganda. On a normal day, Justice Crack, his family, and the people that have been going to court have the right to be frustrated. It's not about your trip. It's the fact that you did not pass the baton. It is the fact that you were not present. It is the fact that you kept people hanging. You were not responding to calls. So it is very normal. Any human being having their people in jail would feel exactly the same way. Now you see that the situation is not going in your favor, right? The judge asks you, oh, do you want to retract your whole bail proceedings? And what you should have done as a diplomatic lawyer, it doesn't matter if your ego is hurt, was say, Judge, please give us 5 minutes. You go outside, you speak to everybody. And if you realize at that moment that, wait, oh, hold on, something is fishy or it's not going very well, you can say, okay, no problem. Go back inside court, say, listen, Judge, the case can proceed with these lawyers. It is your right to remove the whole bail thing, right? But you were there for Justice Crack. That is the only thing that should have been on your mind. Not proving who is lead counsel, not proving who is better than who, not proving who is superior. It was supposed to be to release Justice Crack. And there are people in the mix saying, oh no, this is normal. No, this is not normal. You are also able to pass the baton to another lawyer. If Masha had said, oh, Judge, it is fine, I'll step away from this, but the case can go on, it would have been solved yesterday. And mind you, even if the judge says, oh, okay, bail granted and everything, there's still other proceedings behind that has to be done. They still need to contact DSS. They still need to formalize some things. And maybe he would have been out today or on Saturday. But no, you allowed ego step in. You allowed misinformation just travel, and you added to the same propaganda we are trying to avoid. Now, I have also seen a lot of people attack Justice Crack like, oh, you should have picked one lawyer and you should have picked all lawyers. See, it is always so easy to judge from the outside. Everyone still went home to sleep while he is still in jail. According to my lawyer, that people that are standing in that booth sometimes are under so much pressure that they would use their mouth and say, Your Honor, I am guilty. And all the lawyers will be like, Hey? What does that mean? There's a different level of stress. Have you guys noticed how slim Justice Crack is right now? Can you imagine the pressure he's dealing with? So imagine a man that he's dealing with his own lawyers, right? Then he hears that the man that is holding the bail hearing and everything is not even in the country. Please put yourselves in that situation for one moment and tell me if it is your right to blame him for something he should never be blamed about. While we are sleeping in our homes, he's still in jail. Remember this. And he's not even feeling well. So imagine the emotions. He's seeing his wife, he's seeing his child. It's a whole feeling. You all missed the point. I know everyone is trying to make it look like, oh, Marshall was correct and everything, but I'm sorry, he fucked up the case. He did. He allowed his emotions. Do you know how strong Marshall would have stood up if he says, you know what? Even if there's a propaganda or there's something going on in the mix, I am the bigger person because it's not about me. Forget the fact that I came from Turkey. You know what? Your Honor, let them have the case. He would have walked out of that court with so much, like, I would respect that. I'm like, go Marshall. Funny enough, other people, in the future will be like, let's use Marsha because Marsha held his ground. Marsha made everybody look stupid, even if there was a propaganda. But no, he forgot himself in court and said, you know what, me and my team are out. Well, I wish you luck though. How do you do that? And everybody wants to throw blame now on Justice Crack, like, oh, he should have. Bro, you're not in his shoes. We love to judge people when we do not walk a mile in their shoes. And I completely detest what is going on the internet. All the fights between who is right and who is actually there and who is there. For what? At the end of the day, everyone is saying Mama P and Randy Peters have a hand in this whole situation. Are they, whether they have interest or not, did they not follow up with the case every single day using their time, their money, and going to try to find a resolution? Did they not? But I'm over here judging like, oh, I think they have no, I cannot judge them. Now let's even see, because Randy Peters, I understand, I watched his live, but the way he approached the situation from the beginning was bad.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Peter Aka, Peter for Nigeria. What happened in court today, as unfortunate as it is, it only goes to show us that we have a lot of work to do. Not every person who criticizes a bad government is interested in a better country. Some people only traffic as long as the system is bad because it puts them in business. Let it.
Now that's my problem with Randy Peters. That line right there. Yes, and people say, oh, but you were not physically in court, but people talk now. They all talk, so everybody knew what was going on. So I wouldn't even go with that narrative of you were not in court. But Randy Peters, we all know that those few words of the mouth matters a lot. Those few words you stated there is pointing fingers at the wrong narrative, and you know it. You should have focused strictly on what happened in court and on Marsha. But you started being funny. Now the internet is attacking you. Everybody will have to lay in their bed. Now let's look at even Mama P's reaction.
In various cases. What's this? Masha acted in his own. Does Masha not have his own sense? Does he not know the effort we've put in? So don't tag it. Nobody's influencing anybody to do anything. You did it. It's on record that Masha Abubakar.
Now, did you all hear how she handled it? That's how you handle a situation. And she even said on her live yesterday, she was not physically in the court. But again, these are people that have been going. But the world, and when I tell you, half of the banter that is going on right now, I do not approve of it. But it's also the people who are pushing all of you. You guys, oh God, please. There's enough space for everyone to be great. Can we please bring out the Justice Crack before you guys keep on with this propaganda? There is room for every bird to fly, for God's sake. Me, I come in peace. I'm just the auntie of the internet, okay? But there is room for everyone.